We are invested in you. Speaking of that, we've got three major drug distributors now in talks for a massive payout over their role in the opioid crisis. Wall Street Journal reporting McKesson, Amerisource, Bergen, and Cardinal Health are now discussing paying out $18 billion to settle cases with state and local governments. Here now is Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. My question, Judge, is when will individual victims, not states, but the individual victims actually get a payoff?
Well, I don't know how to answer that because they have to sue or they have to join a class action in order to be paid themselves. So this lawsuit is a little unusual. First of all, this is a collection of many, many lawsuits, which the Chief Justice of the United States assigned to a single federal trial judge in Cleveland. In that lawsuits are manufacturers and distributors. It is rare for the distributor of a lawful drug. So this is getting it from the manufacturer to the drugstore where the patient goes to get it after they have a prescription from the doctor. It is very rare for the distributor to be held liable. The reason they're settling for so much money is because this is so toxic. They're terrified of what a jury might do. I mean, J&J gets penalized $100 billion because of talcum powder by a jury for one plaintiff. There are many, many people that have been injured here. To your question, this is a series of counties in the state of Ohio. There is no certainty that the money that the counties will get from these settlements will go to people who've been harmed. They will use it for whatever government uses money for.
Yeah. Scott?
Well, Judge, and I think that's the question, is not only does it not go to the people, it's not going to education or programs that can help everybody along the line, whether it is the doctors or the patients that are prescribed this medicine. I mean, what's the chances that, yeah, maybe if it doesn't go all the way down to the patient itself, what's the chances that maybe the counties can use some of the money to help better educate people of the risks of these medicines?
I mean, you're asking a government that can't deliver the mail to be responsible with this kind of money.
The trains.
I'll give you an example, and you make a good point about education. The state of Oklahoma settled its case, and it built a new building in its medical school for $225 million. Now, that's going to help a lot of people, but it has nothing whatsoever to do with the opioid epidemic. We are in a new era with state attorneys general and county lawyers suing to transfer wealth. It started with the tobacco lawsuits, which didn't solve a single health problem. It just plugged the holes in state budgets, and that was about $50 billion.
Well, Judge, you're right about that. And in fact, you know, I did a lot of work on those tobacco settlements, and they didn't use that money. The states and localities did not use that money for public health programs and so on. I mean, some percentage of it did, but it was to, as you just said, to plug the holes in their budgets. The thing that, look, we all know, Judge, who is going to benefit in the billions and billions and billions of dollars from this, and those are trial lawyers. Is there any way to put a cap on how much the trial lawyers make off of this?
Different states have different caps, and I honestly don't know what the cap in Ohio is. The standard cap is 1/3. New Jersey, my home state, where I was a trial lawyer and a judge, has a sliding scale that goes down, 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 down. So the bigger the settlement, the smaller the percentage that the trial lawyers gets. But that's the exception rather than the rule. You are, however, quite correct. This is a plaintiff's bar dream, these settlements.
Well, how much do you think an average person who got addicted to opioid would even get in terms of monetary compensation?
There's no duty on the part of these counties to distribute this to individuals.
Unbelievable.
The individuals are not plaintiffs in this case.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to downplay how important of an issue this is, because obviously addiction is a really big issue, but there are all sorts of things that people are addicted to. I mean, we have 8 million people in the U.S. that struggle with alcohol. So what kind of a precedent does this set for other makers of products that happen to be addictive? You could start with alcohol, you could move to sugar and chocolate, and they all have implications.
So I'm addicted to Mozart. I mean, I just can't stop listening
That ain't gonna hurt you.
I can't stop listening to his music. But very interesting what you say, because there's a case in Canada, and I'll tell you why it can't be brought here. There's a case in Canada arguing that video games and video machines are addictive and are bespoiling the minds of young people. Reason it can't be brought here is because the Supreme Court 3 years ago ruled 7-2. Video games are free speech, and they can say and produce and depict whatever they want.
Right.
Judge, but this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
We're going to see incredible class action suits.
Yes.
And this is going to eventually trickle down Okay, as Steve knows his economics, it's going to trickle down to where it will get to the therapy.
You will
it will change pharmacies' ability to hand out these like they're candy.
You will probably see legislatures changing the statutes of limitations, just like they did for child abuse and child sex trafficking, to make it easier for plaintiffs who haven't sued to sue so they can get their piece of the pie.
Well, unlike tobacco products, painkillers serve a good purpose
yes.
to millions of people. So I hope we don't try to push them out of the market entirely.
Bill Rehnquist was arrested. They thought for DWI he had taken too many painkillers.
But we don't want to sue them out of existence, is what I'm saying.
Of course not.
Judge Napolitano, great stuff.